Cape to Cape's always been an event that I've looked at and kind of wanted to do over the years. This year it seemed like a good opportunity to come and give it a go. Been racing downhill on the World Cup scene since 2002 really. This year I've raced a few more of the Enduro World Series events and done some local cross-country stuff and been really enjoying that, and it's just a new challenge, and mountain biking's taken me all over the world, given me a lot of good friends, and so I guess that's what's led me here today. But there's so much good memories that you can make down here in Southwest. We're right on the coastline, amazing beaches. It's a nice laid-back area. People are friendly and good restaurants and beers and wines and breweries and that sort of thing, and the landscape and everything's different to even just 2.5 hours north in Perth, so it's nice to come down here and get away from it all. So this track here in Burnup Forest has been named Sam Hill Downhill. I haven't built it, but I did some filming on this back in 2006, a long time ago, so I haven't been out here since then until now, so it's pretty crazy to see it. Mountain biking's grown massively down here. It's never really had all the trails in the Margaret River Pines and stuff like that, and if you saw people on bikes, it's because they were riding to the beach or to the coffee shop. Now there's bike hire places and a big network of trails in town and that sort of thing, so it's pretty awesome to see the sport growing that way, and I love riding bikes, so it's good when you see other people enjoying it as well. I always love racing at home. It's just nice to see old friends that you don't always get to see around the place. I met Johnny when I was about 14, and he was WA's best downhiller. I was just getting into the sport and looked up to him a lot, and he took me under his wing a bit. We'd come out riding and stay at my house, and neither of us had much money back then, and we'd go riding all day and go buy like whole watermelon, and Johnny would crack it over his knee, and that was our lunch for the day, and he helped me out a lot and suffered a pretty devastating crash. To see what he went through and come back from that is just an inspiration to anyone, I think, just a living legend. This is the first year I've come and done the Cape to Cape, and it's kind of blown me away to see how many competitors there are out there. Been looking forward to it and following the Instagram and Facebook. This week will be a good eye-opener, and next year I'll hopefully come back and set myself a different goal.
It's a great place we've got here at Cape Leeuwin to start this year's edition of the event. Been coming here for 9 years now, and it's a fairly familiar spot. Provides some great photos on the start line.
Day one's awesome start, like with the lighthouse behind us and the ocean and everything, it's really phenomenal. But day one hurts the most out of the 4 days, and you've got to make it hurt to get a good position and good seeding run.
We started here in year one and we've been back ever since, and it's amazing to sit under the lighthouse, but also just the surrounds of it, the ruggedness of the coast here, and it brings everything. That's where the two oceans meet, and the Southern Ocean and the Indian Ocean. It's just a special place to start a race.
Beautiful area, yeah, great place, and when the family comes down, make a little bit of a holiday out of it too. You know, you're done and dusted in a few hours each day, so you can spend the afternoon with the family.
Yeah, so this is our 6th time that I've been here for Cape to Cape. So I did the very first year, so one of the inaugurals where there was only 72 people, and now we're 1,400, so it's an absolutely awesome event. Always look forward to coming down here. It's nice there's a southerly for us to push us up Skippy Rock Road this year, so that'll be good.
I am very in between really freaked out and really, really excited. It's one I've wanted to do for years, but I didn't think I was going to be able to do it this year. I actually had a minor stroke in February and didn't know if I'd be able to exercise ever again or what I'd be able to do. So this was my kind of comeback race to say I'm back and I want to do stuff. So I have no expectations, I just want to finish. And as long as I stay upright for most of it and finish, then I'm really happy.
This is actually my first Cape to Cape, so I did Port to Port this year, which is sort of the sister event over on the East Coast, and love that, so really keen to do Cape to Cape this year. I've been to Western Australia a couple of times, but never down this far, and you know, even just driving in, it was just spectacular, so it's a beautiful place to be.
We've already taken in a bit of Margaret River, which has been really good fun for us and the children, so it's a very family-oriented area, which is really handy for us.
Basically just doing it as a fundraiser for a mate of mine. Recently just lost his wife to cancer. So yeah, I started a fundraiser and like to do the Cape to Cape. The sunflowers on there in memory of her, as it was her favourite flower. It's over $4,500. More the better, obviously, but yeah, I'm just trying to round up, obviously, for this family. They're a beautiful family, 2 kids and my mate Colin.
Been waiting for this for 2 years now. I haven't been able to come here for a while. It's going to be a bit hard for me because I'm not at the pointy end right now with the new baby, so I'll be looking up to those girls and see if I can hop on their wheels. But it's great competition. I think it's a credit to the event that all these the best riders in Australia are here.
There's 1,400 people here. That's pretty unheard of, and not just in Australia but worldwide. So it's one of the biggest races that I get to do. So to experience this sort of terrain and sunshine with 1,400 people is pretty special. I think the race is going to be won or lost on the beach. I think there'll probably be 5 or 6 girls that'll really be trying to get away from each other, and the half hour from the beach to the finish is really tough, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's some big time gaps towards the end of the race.
And this is a really deep field. It's one of the strongest fields, I think, for any race in Australia this year. You've got Cam Ivory, Brendan Johnson's quite sharp at the moment, Tristan Ward, Paul Vanderplo, Reece Tucknott, he could be at the front. And there's still the rest of the talk team as well, like Chris Hamilton, who could be up there.
Arrived. It's time to open up those eyes and appreciate this life. It's small thing, but it's with the time. Don't wash and brush up all the lies, and it will take you for a ride. And I want you to feel it for yourself. I am not going to sit here and don't reach you on a hell. It's a fine line through the rhythm, don't force it, it will come in time. And I feel all the more alive. Can you see me cause I can see you? Can you heal me cause I can heal you? Can you free me cause I can free you? Can you feel me cause I can feel you? Oh yeah. It's time to face the storm. Running you run, but you never even know what the hell you're running from. You don't turn away alone, you stay wasting time. Are you sick of all your cries? And you'll feel better off inside. Sit back and take a deep breath now. You're feeling something you never were before, and it's drinking you right out. You're losing no sweat, shake it all up so free you could almost fly. And I feel like we're close enough to fight. See me cause I can see you, and you heal me cause I can heal you. Can you free?
Pretty stuffed after that. It was a tough battle with Tasman. I opened up a small gap over him coming into the beach. Yeah, he came over to me like it was nothing. It was tough. There was a bunch of about 5 guys together for most of it until the beach, and then Taz and I managed to get away, and with just over a K to go, thought I'd have a dig up Hamstring Hill, and yeah, managed to open up a small gap and hold it to the end.
Yeah, it was brutal. I think everyone was throwing tacks left, right and centre there, and I think definitely left it all out there, and Cam just got over me in that last climb and true to its name, and started cramping on Hamstring Hills.
That was the plan that played out perfectly. I'm just glad to get a stage win. It's my first time over here, and yeah, it was awesome.
You know, this race, I think if you look at the start list, it's really one of the best races in the country. There's just the depth of the field here, and you know, you've got past winners, and you've got guys like Chris Hamilton, who's off to ride in the World Tour next year. So yeah, there's sort of no easy stage wins here, that's for sure. So I'm super happy with Cam.
I said before the race that it would be one on the beach, and Samara had about a minute on me there, and my coach Mark Fenner said just drive the beach as hard as you can, and then I could see her, and from there it was just a chase and a sprint to the finish. That was a great race.
Yeah, it was a bit of a sneaky one. I was on the front pretty much the whole day, just didn't even know Peter was behind me until the last kilometre. She was on a group of a couple of guys' wheels, and she came smoking past, and then I held on to the single track, and then as soon as it got out on the road, she put the smack down, and she's an incredible rider. So yeah, she handed it to me on that last little stretch and came home in second, but it's going to be a great battle every day. Have to see how I can race a bit smarter tomorrow and see what the next stage brings.
The beach, couldn't ride it this year. It's really soft sand, but as we walked along the beach, we made a lot of new friends.
Yeah, the beach was a bit of a hefty jog, but apart from that, it's quite nice for the rollers. It's just kind of changing up gears on top of the hills and trying to get the speed going and get away from people, so that was good.
We got a sand pit in Auckland called Wood Hill, and yeah, it's probably given me a little bit of a taste for this, but wow, that sand really gets you, man. It's deep, it's wet, it's hard to ride in, whether you're in the sea, in between, or on the dry running. It's just, really tough work out there. So the scenery is just amazing. The coastline's so beautiful. It's certainly different from what we see in New Zealand, and I can't wait for the next 3 days, to be honest.
Oh yeah, just trying to get all the last bit of sand off from yesterday with all the beach running and everything. This, I think, is my 6th year of doing the Cape to Cape, and as much as they follow the same sort of or similar sort of routes with the start-finish each day, the variety and the sort of subtle changes that they make to the trails are always sort of what keeps you on your toes. So yeah, today I think they've got a few more things in plan, so yeah, we'll see what happens.
Really good to get the first day out of the way with. It's only my 2nd year at it. Day 1 is the toughest day, a bit of time off the bike, soft sand. Day 2 is pretty taxing on the body, but get through here, we're halfway there, and the rest of it's a really enjoyable ride, yeah.
It's probably my favourite out of all the days. Really love the single track through the Barana Forest. It's just picturesque. It's lovely.
It's a big stage, close to 60k, and got some of the best trails going around. Barana Forest is always really good, and then the climb out of Contos, and we get them back to the water, and they get to see the amazing coastline that the southwest is renowned for. So we then finish up in the wineries and going through the vineyards of Lewin Estate, and then finish at Xanadu. So it's a pretty special stage.
You've got the forest, you've got the beach sand yesterday. There's a lot of uphill, downhill. Everyone's been friendly.
The challenge, to be honest, and all the atmosphere, the people, the riders, all over the place. Yeah, very happy. It's freedom, like you go in the trails and you breathing natural air, no worry about cars or anything, and yeah, it's beautiful.
There's no other race in Australia that I've been to where you can turn up and first place will talk to last place, and it's incredibly friendly.
We weren't really sure what to expect. Like, you don't know how everyone's form is at this time of the year, and there's obviously quite a lot of strong guys here. It's probably like the best elite field I think they've had, and I was kind of here to have a bit of fun and just paced my way through the course and ended up in 3rd. So yeah, I was real happy with that. I think yesterday was a bit of a shock to the system. Like, I haven't raced a mountain bike since probably national champs back in March. So yeah, it's still a bit rusty. I'm not sure how I'll go on the single track because I haven't been doing a lot of it. But I think it'll be just here to have a good time and hang out with me mates.
It was a tough stage. A small bunch got away quite early in the stage, and then I think there were 6 or 7 of us, and we basically stayed together until the end. Quite a few attacks out there, and I think we were all quite nervous and watching each other. There's not a lot of time between us, so yeah, we kept shutting each other down.
Yeah, I enjoyed the last half of the stage a bit more. It was a bit more like a road race. We were just rolling through turns, and then the last 5 to 10 Ks mostly on fire road, and there's a few little attacks going and stuff like that, but no one really stayed away.
Today I had a bit of a plan to make it as hard as I could, and I think I sort of succeeded in that. I did all I could on the, what's a pretty fast day, so it's hard to, make any inroads on the leader, but I did what I could and made it hard, so hopefully it softens everyone up for the next couple of days, and I'll just keep chipping away.
I was on Samara's wheel and I could tell she was like, when do I go? And then I finally got away in the sand, and look, I'm just happy to be in pink for another day, and I'm not confident I'm going to hold it to the end, but I'll hold it as long as I can. Yeah, look, it was an amazing race. This is the best women's field we've ever had here, and it's just, it's incredible. Peter just handed it to me in the sprint finish. I fell off the back of the bunch through the sandy section, and then I had a massive time trial onto these guys. I could see them 100 metres up the road for like kilometres, and then just managed to jump back on, and then coming in here was a bit of tactics, and Peter's got the legs for those sorts of things, so well done, Peter. It wasn't too bad, actually. We finished that descent and we were riding along. We had the camera crew in front of us, and so the guys sort of started swapping off to show off for the cameras.
It felt good going up the first climb, and I thought if I stay with them and just hang on in the single track, now I know what it's like to ride single track fast with the pros. Bit of an accordion all day, and then just coming out of the sand, I got a stick caught in my derailleur in the deep sand, and it took me ages to just get on my bike again. I was just wanting to retain my GC place, so I was pretty happy with that, but it was just awesome riding with the girls just to see what it's like up there again.
Today has been awesome. I reckon the trails for the past 2 days are the fastest and the smoothest we've ever ridden down the Cape to Cape. It's absolutely brilliant. The weather, we couldn't ask for better weather today. It's been awesome.
Seeing the coastline, especially when you're going up the road along the coastline there, up the hill, you had a chance to look out to the left and see the swells coming in. It's pretty amazing. You don't get to see that much.
Crammed up real bad yesterday, like right on the finish, but today, no, happy days. Yeah, loved the downhills. They were fantastic.
It was a lot more single track than I remember, so the first half was fun, and the pace was just hectic, just flat out.
Having done it before, you know exactly what you're doing, and we were actually riding with the bootleg guys at that point, and they just came flying past and said, time for the big blue, just unhook and just go, and you just see them just honk, and we're just following their lines, and it's one of the most beautiful points because going straight down to the coast there, it's brilliant.
It was an awesome stage. Borenup Forest, so beautiful. Limestone section, navigated that fine, and then the sprint home.
I tactically let myself get dropped from the lead riders so I could put on a show for the camera on Lord of the Rings. If I'm calling like a barrel roll as a 10, I was maybe like a 6 because I just had like a little bit of a stylish whip, but I think it's just about getting as much speed into it and boosting as high as you can go, but there's so many cool loamy corners beforehand. You just are already in a good rhythm by the time you get to the jump.
I'm just enjoying just hanging out with other mountain bikers, we're all crazy. And also I just love the fact that everyone helps each other out and, gets in groups and tags along, and it's awesome, really cool.
It's a good day. A lot of fun trails through Borenup Forest and a lot of stuff I've never ridden before, so enjoyed that a lot. Went down Sandmill downhill this morning. It's fun to go down there and do a few jumps and pop some wheelies out of turns.
I tried to send the front group. They dropped me like by mile 10, something like that. It was really good, and by the end we pushed really hard. Man, it's so beautiful. I can't believe it. Welcome to Australia. My first time over here, so. And then especially I saw my family somewhere. My wife flew last night, 3 in the morning. So I told them, I said, yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, they've been following me from the start, and got to cross over a few spectator points, and these guys were there cheering me on, which is really good. They got their cowbells on hand, so you can hear them coming up. And I couldn't imagine doing it without them, actually.
The Cape to Cape's had a stage ending at Xanadu for a few years now, and it's just a really festive part of the event to have the wind up here and see so many people enjoying themselves and getting out and about.
Everywhere you finish, they're really accommodating, and it's all here and really enjoyable.
And what's a terrific place this is to have an event and for people to be able to come and relax on their lawns and then come out and have a meal here tonight, and it's great to see.
It's awesome. Like today we actually get to finish at a winery, and it's such a beautiful place. I mean, this is what Margaret is about, and mountain biking. This has got to be the best thing about it. you combine it together.
I think tonight will be good, the sundown shootout, so looking forward to that and hopefully put on a good show and jump some rocks and hit some corners fast. It's going to be pretty tough. I think I can get down the hill pretty fast. I don't know if I'll have much legs left to get me back to the top, so we'll see how we go.
Like the shootout's one of those things that we go, oh good, it's $1,000, but more importantly, it's worth a minute in a time bonus and 45 seconds, etc. So it's going to be good fun. I haven't seen the course yet. I know it's different to previous years, but I know it's going to be a ripper.
I'm the chairperson for Mr. Orca. That's the acronym for Margaret River Off-Road Cycling Association. So we currently have a membership of about between 130 and 150. We've got probably a dozen kids that are out here every day of the week and more. In the club we do some organised racing and do some organised social rides, and the kids are always there. It's great and encouraging to see.
Sundown Shootout is just a bit of a showcase for the new trails that they have been building, and this one's so sick. Like, got all these double jumps, rock gardens.
As you can see, there's a couple of kids around floating some pretty weird stuff.
Yeah, first race, so thought I'd dress up. Had a look at some videos online from the Capes Cape 4 and looked like this whole spirit of it. I have some normal riding gear. This is just from the Capes Cape Shootout.
It's got some fins, it's fairly aerodynamic. This goes all right. No one else is safe in the water or on the track. Oh, well, when I tuck, the centre fin just adds downforce and I'm away. Yeah.
So I just picked it up last night from Spotlight. I like to dress up sometimes, you know, look fancy while I'm going out and that.
It's just a lot of good fun, really, just coming out, getting stuck in with the Cape family. I think the whole event's got a pretty light-hearted feel, and the Sundown Shootout in particular is even a bit more light-hearted. It's just good times.
Just the whole spirit of it, having just cheered down the whole way, the spectators, just everything about it's just the best race you could possibly be in.
It captures what Cape's about, just going out there, having fun, having a laugh, and just putting on a bit of a show.
Pipped on the last one.
We both turned 60, so we thought we'd come and do an event, and we found this, and we watched all the YouTube clips to work out would we be able to do it, and so we're doing it because we can.
It's a huge big challenge, and we've done things that we've never done before, and it's just magic.
Third day, legs are tired, so it's I'll see how long I can hang on for. I try and hang on to the fast guys in front. Getting position's quite important coming off Carter's Road. Because we turn left and go around the forest loop on the fire trail. It's really rocky and undulating, hell for leather stuff. So, yeah, just try and get as far forward as you can and maintain your position.
And then we go into the Margaret River single track, and it's just on at the front end. Like, the guys are just full power, racing into every bit of single track, speed on through all of it. You come out the other end and, you know, flat out power again to get to the next bit of single track.
Yeah, we call it Margaret River Special Stage for a reason, because it's a great chance for everyone to get out there, get into the pines, get in around Warncliffe Mill and South Carters, and just enjoy some of the best single track this state's got to offer. We've been doing the rollout now for the last 3 or 4 years, and it's become a little bit of a tradition. It's pretty surreal now to see 1,300 riders go through town, all in a big queue, and then you've got the streets lined by the locals. It makes everyone in the event feel like a hero for a moment, and it's a real celebration of how big the event's become.
It puts on a bit of a show for all the people in town, and you get to see your family and all those things, and then turn left and get into it.
And it's really good that the town have closed the streets and we are able to showcase what this race is about.
Margaret River for everyone in Western Australia is just such a home feeling, and you know, to have a whole town stand on side and all these riders coming through and you've got everything around you, it's just fantastic.
There must be some kind of way out of here.
Said the joker to the thief. There's too much confusion now. I can't get no relief. Businessman, he drinks my wine. I'll then take my own. None will ever on the line. Nobody offered their own. No reason to get excited. The thief he kindly spoke. There were many here among us who feel their life is but a joke. But you and I, we've been through that, and this is not our fate. So let's not talk falsely now. The hour is getting late. And all along the watchtower, the prince he kept his view, while the women they came and left, and barefoot servants too. Now outside in the cold distance.
Cam, you right? What's happened? I've been vomiting all night with Andy, Jenny, my girlfriend Jazz. You're not right. Like 6 out of the 8 of us have been sick. It sucks. Like, it sucks to lose it this way.
I won here the last time I did it, and I sort of was pretty keen to get up this year. The tracks are so fast, you know, it's hard to make any impact on the front group. But yeah, stoked to get the win today.
We pretty much rode it hard the whole way. Like, it's not a single track there. We really jammed it, and then the last few big climbs on the way home is just a matter of us hanging on, really. All I have to do is police the top 5, make sure they don't go away, and don't do anything silly.
We had some sneaky chat on the course with a few of the spectators telling us that there was a gap to Cam, and one person to say Cam's out, and then 2 seconds later we hear Cam's 1 minute. So I think there was some pot stirring, but we got word that Cam, unfortunately, I think he's a little bit sick, which is really a shame. No one wants to see anyone pull out of a bike race with ill health.
Yeah, really feel for him. He was riding great this week.
Nature racing sometimes, like, yeah, feel for him.
Once we got the sense that he was going to be out of the race, we kind of had to sit up a little bit and start playing some tactics. Unfortunately for me, I dropped a chain just at the crest of the climb. I just got a stick that chucked it off, and yeah, you know, that's bike racing, and I think everyone's kind of suffered a couple of little mechanicals along the way so far in the race. So regardless of GC and all the racing, I put that aside and just tried to enjoy the trails. That's the best they've ever been, and I've been here 3 times now.
I worked pretty hard pretty early, and Nate's and I worked pretty hard through the single track, and I was getting dropped on the climbs a little bit, but she'd get dropped onto the ascents and I'd get back on, and Samara just nailed it up a climb and breached across to a group of guys, and I didn't see her again, and she's just been a class above, and I've just been lucky with tactics, and I'm just glad it's an exciting women's race, but full kudos to Samara.
I wanted to break away from the men so Peter and I could have a fair race. I tried to do that, but we got another rider wanted to hang with us, and whenever I attacked, he chased me, and then Peter sat on him, and it was really hard to get away, to be honest. And then coming in that near the last fire roads, I just gave it everything up one of the climbs and managed to get away, but it's really hard in races like this. But tomorrow's another race, and I hope she's ready.
And once we went into that fly road around South Carters, it was just chaotic. It was so fast. Got through it okay, and into the Pines with the second group. Pretty stuffed, but happy with the day.
Third today is a really good result for me. I thought I was probably a bit quicker than some of the girls through the single track, so I tried to get a bit of a gap there, and then the aim was to just try and hold it. But yeah, I was pretty happy to see the finish line.
Fantastic, actually. I was really worried about today because I'm not a mountain biker and it was a lot of single track. But I found a really nice group of people that I would overtake them on the uphill. They'd overtake me on the downhill and then I'd follow their line. So it was really good fun. I must admit I was out there riding at some points just looking around with this massive grin on my face going, this is awesome.
The stuff here are really flowy, so every bit, every obstacle and every bump is there for a reason. Just have a good flow and maintain your speed. I'm sure it's all come from years of experience from trail building. Yeah, it's really awesome.
Oh my God, it was so cool, especially on the top there. It was like switching, was so cool. Everywhere, and they jump, when you jump, they're like, yeah! That was one of the things keeping me going today.
I woke up this morning and like I feel so sore all over and I wasn't even sure if I was gonna start. But once you start riding, especially when you ride through the town, it just brings chills to your spine. Like the support here is really, really awesome.
There's one girl's always out there with her beatbox. She's got her music going. She's cheering everyone on. It just makes you feel really good.
Yeah, I reckon I was probably the second most supported person out there. I think the guy with the beard, I don't know his name. Yeah, people see the fat bike and they give you a cheer. Yeah, it's really good.
And it's really encouraging to see people out there, you know, they smile at you. And when they see my feathers, they go like, go feathers, go feathers. So that's really cool.
It's really cool to see everyone out. You sort of feel a little bit famous, even though you know one.
7 kilometres where Margaret River just came out and gave everyone a cheer. It's nice. I think there's a great community spirit here, and I think everyone in the region is pretty proud they've got such a great event. I just think, this is great fun, pushing yourself to the limits, seeing how far you can go, trying to back it up day after day. You get to go through the wineries, the tall trees, the coast, you get on the beach. It's one of the most beautiful parts of the world and we get to experience it all in 4 days. I tell you what, there's more spectators here than the World Cup that was in Cairns. This event really is the ultimate place to go mountain biking in Australia. It's proved itself year after year and continues to get stronger.
Spectators all lined up down the main street. It's awesome to cruise down there and everyone cheer you on and be with a massive group of riders, and it's an awesome way to start the day and awesome way to finish it here at Colonial.
Great place this is. Colonial's the best day out. I've been thinking about the beer since we crossed the bridge at Margaret River. It's just a question of what and which type.
I'm very much looking forward to a beer and a pizza.
These venues are a massive part of the success of the event. Fantastic venues, big setups, beer, wine, great food, good people. Doesn't get any better.
So we're on Line Manager. It's a really different kind of trail for Margs. It's more of a flow jump line, something that we haven't really got much of in Western Australia at the moment. It's got lots of jumps, step downs, step ups, and I think people in the Cape to Cape next year are going to absolutely love it.
This trail's brand new jumps. It's the first time I've seen it today. It's great.
Our main focus is trying to add diversity into the tracks here, which is kind of hard because the forest is all pretty uniform, but you do get little subtle differences that you can work to, and exaggerated, I guess. Like this jump line's very similar to a lot of bike parky stuff you'd find around the world. If you've got that, then you've got that roller coaster of experience rather than all being the same.
About 5 or 6 years ago, we started developing trails in the Pines. We sit here now and we've got 12 guys working on the project. We've got equipment coming out of our ears. From back where we were in 5 years, 6 years ago, when guys were out in motorbikes cutting trail that way, and with a couple of fire rates, to having 5 or 6 machines working at once, and it's just a huge evolution. Compartment 10, as we currently call it, as a development, one of the main catalysts for that has been the Cape to Cape race, and we identified that very early on the project. 95% of the trail that we've built is able to be ridden in a linear fashion, so they can experience all the trail without riding over themselves. We've been talking to the event director and the Cape to Cape guys, Jay Stover, and what they've got planned is just fantastic. It's going to really change the way that people experience the Margaret River region. We're super stoked on what's going to happen down here.
Yeah, I wanted to have an early start because the last 3 days I feel like I've been rushing to the event, making sure I've got everything, and today I just wanted to just come here, relax. The last 2 stages, you're finding that you're riding with the same crew, and so you might pass someone that you met the day before, and then all of a sudden you're in that group of familiar faces and you're just chatting and having a good time, and everyone's in the same boat, everyone's not at work, they're all out having fun. It's really good.
This is the day that we've been looking forward to. We're all from Perth, there's 8 of us have come down, but we're like the 4 at the back where we've got 2 elite guys at the front, but we're like support team.
Yeah, we don't always ride together. It's my first time, so I tend to be at the back. Yeah, I could do with just staying here for the day, really, to be honest, but we've been going to bed at 8:30, so we've been taking it seriously, and see how we go on today.
We had a great time yesterday up in that pine forest. Was just amazing. Yeah, it was like a second childhood around all those tracks in the park. It was just amazing. And once again, we were doing things that we actually never thought that we could do. We were just racing through there, and it was just amazing. Totally looking forward to day 4. It's going to be great.
It's all highway case today, apparently, and I'm not built for that. So, yeah, we'll see how we go. I thought pink because, there isn't really any better colour. And pink's also, the breast cancer awareness thing. So, yeah, just a bit of awareness out there. And I'm trying to do everything I can for this family, and just giving it like the best I can.
Middle Earth, mate. 25 k's of beautiful flowy single track. There's a few logs. If they do the logs, they'll pick up a few places on the way through. The guys should have a great time out there in the 10 k's that we're using. Really flowy, and the conditions are absolutely perfect at the moment.
It's the best race we've seen here with the female elites. Samara Shepherd's been strong the whole way. She really got her dues yesterday, I think. Had a calculated race. But watch Peter Mullins on this stage, again, she's probably the strongest female rider I've seen here at Cape to Cape in terms of when there's big packs going, she can hold on. That's her chance.
I've been wearing this helmet all week, actually, just waiting for something to match it. It's a nice jersey, and I'm really happy to wear it in this last stage. It's only a 14-second lead, so today's very much in the air, and expecting a tight battle again with Peter Mullins right down to the line.
I think on any normal year, if I was going really well here, that it would definitely be a stage that I can take control on, but I'm not completely confident in the way I'm riding at the moment, and the climbing is really tough for me. But look, I'm going to leave it all out there. I'll never say die.
I was terrible with what happened overnight with the specialised team and camaraderie getting sick. But what it's done is it's really opened it up for others. And Tasman Nankervis, he's got a real great opportunity now to win a major event. He's also got a strong team here, so I think the Talk boys are really experienced. I reckon they're going to get around him, try to protect him.
Pretty cool experience, strap it on. Hopefully try and retain it today. Be a big day just following wheels and making sure everything goes smoothly, really. There'll be a lot of attacks, I think. There'll be guys that aren't up there in GC that will be able to attack, and obviously they don't affect us, so whether we chase them or not, I don't know, it's going to be aggressive, I think, and just have to hold on.
Mountain, and I chop it down with the edge of my hand. Well, I'm standing next to a mountain, and I chop it down with the edge of my hand. And I pick up all the pieces, not make an island, not even raise a little sand. And I pick up all the pieces, I might even raise a little sand. But I'm standing next to a mountain, and I chop it down with the edge of my hand. Well, I'm standing next next to a mountain, and I chop it down with the edge of my hand. And I pick up all the pieces, might make an island, might even raise a little sand. Cause I'm a voodoo child, yeah, baby, yeah. Right now I'm a voodoo child. But a 10-minute take up all of your sweet time. I'll bet you one of these days. But a 10-minute take up all of your sweet time. Give it right back to you one of these days. Don't see you no more in this life, I'll see you in the next one. And don't be late.
I haven't had a win that big for a while. I was a bit sceptical. I came out of Middle Earth solo and probably had about a minute on the main bunch, and there's still a long way to go with only a minute gap. And then once I got out to 4 minutes, just need to keep pushing and stay on it. But pretty stoked to come away with the win and hold them off through that single track because there was some sketchy moments. I just sort of rode by myself and kept the pressure on, and the boys didn't catch me, so I'm pretty stoked.
Close that gap. Tasman Man Curtis will take that yellow jersey away with him today. Brendan Johnson will be second overall.
It's probably one of the best results I've ever had. Couldn't be happier. At this time of event with massive atmosphere, it's just, couldn't be a better feeling, really. The whole race is just like, take it easy, don't do anything silly, and just keep the wheels upright. And that's about it, really. I know, like some of the guys previously won this are big names, and put my name on that list is huge.
It's a road race, and I knew Peter had some fantastic accelerations on her, so I thought Peter was on the back, to be honest. It wasn't until the last 5 kilometres that I found out she wasn't there, so when I saw 1 kilometre to go, to be honest, that was the only time I looked behind me and I couldn't see her. After the first day, I didn't know if I was going to be able to beat Peter, to be honest. It's been a really tight battle the whole way. She's a fantastic rider, and every day I just tried to keep positive and do what I could do, and in the end I came away with it, so it's amazing.
I said to my friend and my coach before the race that I would go balls out for half an hour and see how I felt. I mean, I didn't feel really good after half an hour, but then we obviously hit the single track, and that's pretty cruisy for me. I get a good bit of recovery in there, and I was suffering a bit on the climbs, but I was able to fall back through the group. And with 10K to go, I just had to toss it up. Was I going to make 15 seconds on Samara? And the answer was no for me, and so with 10K to go, I just sat up and I let it go. Samara and I had another good battle. I'm glad I could put on a show for people again. And I'll be back next year.
It's hard racing when Peter shows up. She's a world-class athlete, and to be able to race against her and battle her out for a pink jersey just goes to show what mountain biking's about here in Australia, and it kind of puts a bit of extra credit to Samara. Lucky enough to live with her and coach her and be able to advise her through her day-to-day stuff on the bike. And to be honest, there's nothing I'd rather see than her take a pink jersey. And
I was imitating a yo-yo pretty much the entire time, falling off the back of a bunch, getting back on, back off, back on. But I'm really happy to stick with it and finish in third.
Well, it's 5th time in a row for the Masters. There was a few times I was yo-yoing off the back, but thankfully the GC battle at the front seemed neutralised. Reese was up the road, and the top guys were just watching each other, and the bunch just went slow on the fire road. So a few times I was able to catch back up. Even though I suffer, it's good to have the real hard competition.
Coming into the last bit of trail, I kind of put the hammer down and tried to put a gap between myself and Chris. A little bit all too late, and managed to hit the deck coming into the last corner there. But yeah, I just went in with attitude. It was all or nothing, so I just did what I could to close that gap to a third or whatever I could do. Until next year, really looking forward to it and won't miss it for anything.
I was in tears. I was coming down that road there. I was literally crying. Hey, this guy here, I was racing him after 11 hours. I reckon there's only 30 seconds between us. Oh, I don't know about that. Only just came in. Oh, full of emotion. Absolutely in tears. This year's the best race I've ever done.
Very happy to be at the end. 4 days, hard yakka.
The start was really, really hard. I had nothing on the legs at all. I needed about 45 minutes to an hour to just set into a constant pace, and then just kept that pace. And not try to overcook my legs.
Yeah, that was hard. About halfway, I was like, nah, I don't want to finish this. Do I just get off and mosey on and have a nice social ride? But hey, no, I'm very competitive, so I was just like stuck with the groups, and yeah, it's fun. A highlight for me would have had to have been Middle Earth, just spectacular. And that's one thing over here, that all the single track just goes on and on and on. It's spectacular. So it's like a mountain biking holiday for me. It's like holiday in heaven. First beer in about 3 weeks. It's for Chun, the Singapore downhill champion. We've been riding pretty much side by side the whole last 4 days. And coming in the last 5Ks, he says, let's have beer together. So I'm buying him a beer. I just got to find him.
So if Tan Hong Chung can come to the finish line, Mad Boy Marty has a beer for you.
Yeah, glad it's over. Yeah, no, it was really good, eh? It was, hello. Yeah, a bit of a surprise. I didn't know they were coming, but yeah, that was good. Glad it's all over, but I had fun as well. Yeah, today was really hard. I'm not used to those road Ks. I don't like road. Yeah, I think they like the pink suit. It was good.
That's the best event in the mountain bike I've ever done. I love it. Oh, hi! Pedal to the metal. Here. That's for you. Oh, unbelievable. Especially the last part, all the jumps. Beautiful. And the middle in the earth, ridiculous good. I tell you one thing, it's really, really challenging, but it's really, really fun. I love it. Next year I'm coming back for sure.
Mate, I'm proud of my whole team. It's not just these guys as well. We've got some physios as well. Another mate who had to pull out a little bit earlier as well. Phenomenal job going up some of the real tight stuff, some of the really steep hills. They chuck their bikes to the side and they're just legging it. Sometimes they're carrying 2 bikes. One of them's got 1 bike and pushing me up, and it's just absolutely mental. I'll say something about this guy. He's riding a fixie. Look at the size of things. The handlebars are just not made to go off-road. And this guy's in thongs, Jesus thongs as well, cranking it the whole way. Look at him, not a single scratch.
Yeah, we've done a lot of time together getting prepared for the event, and it's just been more than I could ever imagine. The highs and the lows and the support and the people that come out, and everyone just pitching in. It's just the wonderful community that we've got.
Now time for a beer, eh? Where is it? We're waiting 4 days for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is always difficult picking the Beacon Award. But the person that we would like to make this award to is a young lady called Morgan Marsh.
Yeah, well, like I said, when I had the stroke, they said that they didn't know whether or not I'd ever be able to exercise again. It could have been a heart default, it could have been all sorts of things. So I'm just so pleased that I was able to get the sign-off from the neurologist and be able to compete today and get out and do it. I'm so happy. Oh, I'm so pleased. I got to about 5Ks to go and I was thinking, oh, I'm really tired. And then you hit the trail bit again and everyone was so lovely and were okay in terms of overtaking me and letting me through when I was going uphill. So pleased to have finished.
I've really enjoyed the whole event. The weather's been fantastic. The organisation's been fantastic. To see the western side of Australia has been amazing. It's great company. I'll be back next year, definitely.
Year 10 to be something special and something different is an absolute credit to them. Your big ticket items are Middle Earth, the Pines, they're the new Compartment 10. So we're still going to get all the good stuff.
You always get a sense of accomplishment when you finish an event like this. Definitely come back to Margaret River. It's beautiful. I love it.
You know, we said, I think on the first day, we did it because we can, and just being grateful every day that you're alive. And it is the hardest thing I've probably ever done. And I've done some way out there things. But oh my God, how lucky we are. It was tougher than what we thought it would be. It wasn't the fact that we'd done those Ks, it's about what we had to do it. You know, as I said, it pushed us out of our comfort zone. We did things we never ever thought we could. And we did it. And it was really cool.
A small boy emerges with tears and cries. As I turn to leave, he grabs at my sleeve, and I realize this boy is me. And horror seeps from my bones as the little boy begins to grow. Jagged fangs, cold hands, wings like the black.